Anyway, while I am waiting on that, basically, here's what you need to know, more or less. The order tonight, yeah, that's me fixing the camera, right? What am I, well, hey, I'm trying to wait on the spreadsheet to open, got to do something. We're going to open the Onyx Preferred Players autographed baseballs first. Then behind that will come the Flawless Football, our new release for today. And then our third break tonight will be our half case of Bowman that we started that case on Monday night. We're going to finish it up tonight. So, of course, the first thing we can talk about before it even shows up on the spreadsheet, and that's just to let you know that my feedback is completely automated. And I do that really just so you don't ever have to wait on me, because seems like I'm always running 1,000 miles an hour. And that way, anytime that you leave positive feedback for me, you are going to instantly get the same in return. And of course, the other thing, which you would normally see on the screen, but you don't right now because I'm still waiting on Excel to do its thing here, is just a big message to say thank you, because I do appreciate everyone who bids and breaks and chats and hangs out with me. Many of you keep me company on a regular basis. So whatever brings you by tonight, I am super glad to have you here. I don't know why Excel is not opening tonight, guys. I am trying to get it to open, and it just is acting stupid. It's just frozen up and won't do anything. All right, so, finally, at last, Excel is our friend. Yay. So this we already talked about. We can blow right on past it. We are taking a look now at the breaks that are coming up in the days ahead. So this stuff is already listed on eBay. We're going to be busting into it over the course of the next few days. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, is an off night, so no breaks there. But on Easter Sunday, we are going to break, and we'll start it a little earlier than normal, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We will open a 15-box case of 2019 Leaf Metal Draft Football and a 5-box half case of Gypsy Queen Baseball, which will be the start of a new case. On Monday night, we're also going to start early, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We'll open Flawless again. It'll be the other half of this case that we're starting tonight. We'll finish on Monday night. We'll also open a 12-box case of Diamond Kings. Tuesday, we'll find Flawless in the lineup again, as well as Bowman Baseball making another appearance. Wednesday night, another early start because that's a new release day. That day, we have Contenders Draft Picks Football that comes out. We're going to break a full 12-box case of it and another 3-box inner case of the Onyx Preferred Players. Technically, we'll break the baseballs first on that Wednesday night, but they are listed second. I listed Contenders first and then thought, I have enough time to list something else, and decided to add the baseball. So that's the deal for Wednesday. Here's what you need to know for tonight. We've got one free shipping break tonight. That's our autographed baseballs. It'll be on the way to you no later than Friday, the 26th, a week from today. That free stuff is always projected out no later than a week after the fact, but honestly, it usually goes much faster than that, but that's just your promise that it won't be any later than that. Now, in our paid shipping breaks tonight, that's Flawless and Bowman Baseball. I am anticipating those to be on the way to you approximately Tuesday. As always, if I can get it out faster than that, you know I will. And if my week were to be a total train wreck and go entirely off the rails, it could always slide a day later. But right now, I think Tuesday is pretty reasonable for Flawless and Bowman. The last piece of business on this page has to do with consolation cards. And here's what that means. If you're in the break and you don't pull anything at all, not a base card, not a hit, not one single thing, you are still entitled to a consolation card that can be from any year and any series. If you're in one of our free shipping breaks, that's actually a free break. I did that wrong, didn't I? But if you are in one of our free shipping breaks tonight, your consolation cards would typically be held until your next package ships. And that's just simply because it is a free shipping break. But if you get skunked in one of the free breaks and you do want your consolation card sent right away, all you need to do is drop me a quick line, let me know. I will gladly take care of it. In Bowman Baseball, which is our paid shipping break, I don't think anybody's going to get skunked in that. So you don't have to worry about anything in that regard there. All right, we're underway. 3 boxes of 2019 Onyx Preferred Players Autographed Baseballs. Full inner case, break number 15. Everything we're opening tonight ended tonight on eBay, Friday night, the 19th of April. 3 teams in here don't have hits. That would be, or 4 rather, that would be the Cubs, the Tigers, the Marlins, and the Pirates. And 1 team did not sell. That's my Cincinnati Reds. So you'll see those each designated as such on the spreadsheet. Everybody else has got their name across from their team. And if you are in one of the other breaks, you will get a chance to see your name up there in lights when we get to your particular product. Last little piece of business, you probably just noticed that your background went out of focus there a little bit, and not to worry, that was by design. It's on purpose. You haven't had one too many tonight. It did actually go out, but that's only so we can see everything up closer. So that's how that works. Alan J. and Echo and Jordan are all here in chat tonight. Alan J. wants to know where his evil twin is. We have an Alan J. and a J. Allen. And when they're both in here together, it's always interesting to keep them straight as we go along. But I don't know where he is, Alan J. I think he must be taking an off night. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if I copied his username into the spreadsheet or not. Honestly, I can't remember. I do that on autopilot to such an extent that a lot of times I don't even notice the usernames. So, I'm not entirely sure. Anthony, it is your first time here. Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have you, Anthony. Which break are you in? You in the baseball break here or something else? And Kirk is here. Kirk, I got your message. We got to figure out all that post office stuff. I'm sure you saw my reply about they're probably going to forward it, but we'll sort it out. We'll work together and figure it out. Alan J. says, do I have a hot date? Is that why I'm taking Saturday night off? Taking Saturday night off, brother, because I have got to get a bunch of stuff done. This house looks like a junkyard. So I don't know who that is. It tells us, don't worry, for those of you who are new, it will tell us. I just like to try to guess first. That is JSA authenticated and Onyx authenticated, and I really don't even have a guess on that one. Sometimes I hazard a guess and it's right. Most of the time it's wrong. I don't even have a guess. JSA authentication to match your sticker. Note it is a little bent, and that's pretty typical when they put that kind of card in that kind of box with a ball. Your Onyx authentication that will match the Onyx sticker. And the big reveal. Oh, man, that is a beauty. That is exactly what we've been waiting for. Right there, San Diego Padres. Oh, that's money in the bank for you. That is the hot young rookie, Fernando Tatis Jr. for the San Diego Padres. I just made somebody's night a whole lot better. I'm pretty sure about that. Anthony, you're in Flawless tonight. Well, excellent. We will hopefully have some good luck for you in there. I'm super psyched about Flawless. And Jordan, I know I have not seen you in a long time. I don't know where you've been hiding out, man. And that is, well, I don't know. Looks like a G and an R, doesn't it? Maybe. Onyx authenticated. I don't see a second authentication, so I guess that's the only one. There's our little Onyx card to match it. And it tells us that that is, in fact, not a G at all, but a C. That ball is for Cody Reed. And I got to look on the, hang on, I've got to look on the checklist. I can't remember where Cody Reed goes. Oh, my Cincinnati Reds. Why the heck wouldn't I remember that? Yeah, I don't know. Same reason I can't remember, what's his head? That one young rookie we've got who every single time I see him, I think, whose team is he? And he's the Reds. Yeah, I know. It's sad, really, isn't it? Hey, well, what are you going to do? So, my Cincinnati Reds had no bid. Hit Cody Reed. How about that? Last one. This is, don't know. It is Onyx authenticated and no other authentication on it. And there's your Onyx card that matches it. Who is it? It is Vince Velasquez. And dear old Vince, where does dear old Vince go? Why do I not know 2 of the 3 of these tonight? Because I'm having one of those kind of nights. I've got to find Vince. Hold tight there, kids. I'm looking for him on the spreadsheet here, or on the checklist, rather. Spreadsheet out the... There he is. Phillies. All right, so Vince Velasquez is out for the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to label the tops of these as we go so that it will make life a little easier when it's time to ship it. It means you get it faster. Cody Reed, who I like my forgotten Cincinnati Red. So Reds with the second one, but the big star of the show coming up here, Fernando Tatis Jr. for the San Diego Padres. That is money in the bank. So congratulations, Padres. All things Fernando are quite hot right now. So now, Flawless Football. Speaking of hot, can't wait. And of course, Flawless just came out today. And it is a 2-box case. Since we're opening only half of the case tonight, we're going to take both of the boxes out. I will label each of them on the end, and then we'll let random.org determine for us which one we open tonight and which one we open in break number 2. Meanwhile, here's all this information again. Now, I'm guessing most of you probably saw this already. We talked about it a little bit. We discussed kind of what happens with consolation cards if you don't hit all your shipping dates, etc. If you weren't here for that, you might want to rewind and check it out, or read the info that you see there on the screen. I won't subject you to reading through the whole thing again at that point. This will be a 1-box break of 2018 Flawless Football, the end of our 2018 football releases. It is a half-case break. Break number 1 just came out today, ended tonight on eBay. We're busting into it tonight. And, of course, same format, team names on one side, our winning bidders on the opposite side. And by the looks of it, it's pretty awesome. Flawless is always pretty awesome, but they've added some stuff, some booklets and some laundry tag signatures and some other things that we haven't always gotten in Flawless are in there as an option this year. So even more to love, if you will. So our big heavy suitcases here. So once again, it is a 2-box case. We're breaking half of it. So we're breaking 1 box. That's why I'm labeling them there on the end so that we can use random.org to sort out which one will be opened tonight and which one will be opened in the next break. So basically, since we only have a couple of items in our list, I'm going to do random 3 different times, as I would if we were randoming a card, and it will be the 3rd random that will make the decision. Anthony says he didn't see his name, so Anthony, we'll go back and look at that there in a second. Hang on just a minute, all right? So here's our first, ignore it. Our second one, ignore it. Our 3rd and final, our date and time stamp, it comes up and tells us we're going to open briefcase number 2. But before, there's number 2, that's the one on the bottom, is the one we're going to open. But before we do that, let's get up here. All right, so Anthony, you said, all right, so where should we be finding your name? Where's your username on here, Anthony? Who's your team? If I made a cut and paste error, I will fix it for you real quickly. But if you can tell me what team you should have, that would help me know where I might have made a cut and paste error. So if you can help me out with that. Oh, it is there. Okay. All right. Super. Then we're just going to fly right on back and pick up where we left off and jump into number 2 here for our half case tonight. Good old flawless football. Ooh, we got black suitcase this year, too. Oh, very she, isn't it? Yes, indeed. I'm not sure, but what I don't like the silver one's better, but hey, I guess a change of pace is good. We'll take it anyway. We've got, of course, a lot of different things going on here with Flawless, so let's get them all out of the briefcase and get that's a very 007 kind of briefcase, isn't it? What with the black and all. Okay, let's take a look at what's in our little box. I showed you that was empty, right? But let's take a look at what's in our little box first. Then we'll look at our encased cards, which you see hanging out there in the back. Echo, the suitcases, some of them I keep, and the rest of them eventually I'll get around to listing. I've got a bunch of that sort of stuff. The National Treasures boxes, I got a list. The Flawless suitcases, I've got a list. There's a bunch of that sort of stuff that I need to get around to putting up on eBay. Dante Pettis, that is numbered to 15, our first out for the San Francisco 49ers. And this is a handsome card for the Cowboys. You have Cole Beasley, Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, all nice looking relics, multicolor, and it is numbered to 7. So Dallas is on the board. Oh, yeah, Anthony, I don't send out those briefcases. That's what I was just saying there. Echo was asking what I did with them. Yeah, some of them I keep here myself, and then the ones that I don't keep, I will eventually get listed on eBay. I've got quite a backlog of those that I get listed on there at some point or another. Ryan Kerrigan, that comes out for the Redskins, and yeah, it might happen to be a 1 of 1. How about that? I like when we start off with early 1 of 1s. Got a really nice relic. Of course, your on-card signature and 1 of 1 Kerrigan for the Redskins. Sweet. We are next taking a look at some kind of weird little fly that just landed on the card, and Tim Brown for the Raiders. The fly is not included with the card, by the way. That one is numbered to 5. Another cool hit. Little throwback action there. And there's Bob Greasy for the Dolphins. It is numbered to 10. Sorry, I was trying to reach over and get the sleeve, but we're no worse for the wear. We're all right there. He didn't hit in any weird, funky way, so we're still good with him there. But that is Bob Greasy to 10 for the Miami Dolphins. DJ Moore, numbered to 5. Let's get the sleeve with my left hand and not reach across this time, huh? Carolina Panthers with your rookie DJ Moore. Charles Woodson, that's a very nice hit. But the problem is we've got him on here for a pair of teams, right? He's a Raider. He's a Pro Bowl in the middle, so that's neutral. And he's a Packer on the right. It's numbered to 10, but that means the Raiders and the Packers come into play as to who's going to end up with that card. Once again, Pro Bowl obviously not doesn't designate to a specific team. So that's going to set up there in our little housekeeping area, whereby we will use random.org to sort that out at the end of the break. Meanwhile, Drew Brees, Saints, fantastic hit. That is numbered to 10. Star Swatch Signatures is your card set, and a really nice hit for the Saints. You just don't get a lot of Drew Brees, so all kinds of awesome there. Adam Thielen, here come the Vikings. Numbered to 10. You've got your little diamond chip in there. And then behind that, the Panthers hit with Christian McCaffrey to 15. The last little piece of business, that's just some little card that tells you, yeah, it's not blood diamonds, and yeah, it's a real diamond, and blah, blah, blah. You know, the general run of the mill. Meanwhile, we have this to take care of, and it is Raiders and Packers, Pro Bowl not team related. So here's how it works. We're going to first go over here to the spreadsheet and see if by chance the same person owns both teams. So the Raiders, that's Chief Digger 36. Now we need to get to the Packers, and that is Starker 25. So we do have two different team owners. So we're now going to head over here to random.org. The way this goes, if it had been oriented top to bottom, the team on the top would have been listed first. This is oriented left to right, which means the team on the left will be typed in first. In that case, it's the Raiders. So it's going to be typed in as Raiders and then Packers. Now, I will hit random 3 different times, and the first 2 do not count. It is only the third random, which is our final determining random, that will tell us which team is going to get that card. So you can ignore the first one, ignore the second one, and here is our third and final. You'll see right there 3 times, our date and time stamp, and it is going to the Green Bay Packers. So the Packers end up with that really nice Charles Woodson card. And I'm going to just make a little note of it on the sleeve. Now, I think everyone would know I would not be writing on a card, but just in case somebody doesn't, see, it's on the sleeve, not the card. So to recap, Charles Woodson to 10, going to the Packers, having used random.org to determine it. DJ Moore, numbered to 5, Carolina Panthers. The nice Bob Greasy for the Miami Dolphins. That one is numbered to 10. The Raiders at least did not go home empty-handed. You have Tim Brown to 5. Fantastic 1 of 1 Ryan Kerrigan for the Nationals. Kind of love that card a little bit. Love that relic. The boys hit with a trio of relics numbered to 7. You got Dak and Zeke and Beasley all on one card. 49ers with Dante Pettis. Rookie relic to 15, but like it's boring. Why they just give us white? It's part of a number. It's like the inside of a number or a letter most likely, but I kind of wish they'd given us a tiny little sliver of a second color. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers, that is numbered to 15 with our ruby gemstone. Our little tiny diamond chip there goes to Adam Thielen and the Vikings. It is numbered to 10. And then the big man, Drew Brees, to 10 for the Saints. And that gets us locked and loaded on Flawless tonight. Of course, we'll be opening more Flawless on what? On Sunday? Is it on Sunday? I know I had that up there earlier. I can't remember myself. No, actually, it's Monday. So we'll be opening Flawless again starting Monday night. And then we'll open it a bunch next week for those of you who might be interested in hitting it up and seeing the back half of this case. That brings us back to our shipping information, etc. So once again, our free shipping breaks tonight. What we just completed, Flawless and the autographed baseballs. That stuff will be on the way to you no later than Friday, the 26th, a week from today. Typically the free shipping stuff goes much sooner than that, but it just means it will not be any later than that. If you got skunked in either of the free shipping breaks, typically, I'm going to hang on to your consolation card until your next package ships. But if you want it sent sooner, you want it right away, you only need to send me a message and let me know. I will happily handle that for you. Meanwhile, our paid shipping break tonight, which is the upcoming Bowman baseball, that I'm projecting out to be roughly Tuesday, and every team is going to pull cards there. So we certainly don't have any worries about consolation cards for it. It is a 6-box half case of 2019 Bowman Baseball. It's the back half of the case that we started on Wednesday night, which was its release night. And, of course, the same format that you've grown to know and love. We have team names on one side, and your eBay username is up in lights across from your team on the opposite side. So let me get our Bowman over here to the table and get our flawless briefcase out of the way, and then we'll get rolling on Bowman. Now, of course, with these, we don't have to go through the whole, using random to sort it out, because this is the back half of the case. So we already used random to pick out our boxes when we did the first half of the case. So that makes things move along a little bit faster clip anyway, when we're doing the back half of it. Jordan, you have got the Mets, the Brewers, and the Cubs. And, yeah, that is right. That is true. He did say his son had the Vikings in flawless. So, Kirk, your son hit the Adam Thielen then, right? So that's nice. Aaron, it's Aaron's first time here breaking with us as well. Welcome, Aaron. You have got the Braves in Bowman. So looking for a little Atlanta love. All right, my friend. We will definitely try to bring you some fire for your Atlanta Braves. Get some of those sort of ready to go. I don't know why I like to just take kind of the plastic off more when I start, because it just then means I don't have to grab the knife all the time. It feels like we can just kind of go and roll a little bit that way anyway. Although I did have somebody last night who came in partway through the break and then was distressed that the plastic had already been cut. But I was like, well, you can rewind it and you'll see it happen. Like, it still happened. It just happened off, earlier. Oh, Alan J, we skunked you tonight. Oh, man, I'm sorry. That's not cool. Jordan, I'm going to try to be, I will try very hard to have the mojo be nice to you tonight. We will try our best to make that happen. So, Bowman, there's one autograph card per box in here. There are a number of parallels. We'll pull some numbered cards and some unnumbered parallels. There are, well, actually the unnumbered are inserts, technically. We'll have chrome cards. Some will be refractors, some won't. As we go through the first box, we'll take an extra moment to kind of talk about some of that stuff. Then when we go through our subsequent boxes, you'll already know what to be on the lookout for, and we won't slow down as much for it. So the chrome ones, of course, are always going to say chrome up there in the corner. That's how you recognize them. And right away, we have our first box autograph has come out like super early in the box. It is Logan Webb for the San Francisco Giants. And of course, the Giants are probably really looking for Joey Bart, right? But hey, you never know. That's the beauty of Bowman. Logan Webb might turn out to make you a fortune in a few years. So there are plenty of these 30th anniversary inserts, and every single one of them will be a refractor. So the entire series insert set refracts, but none of them are numbered. Isn't that cruel? Of the base. Now, if we pull an orange one or one that you see a visible color there on the border, then clearly it would be numbered. But I'm saying of the base silver refractors, if you will, are not numbered. Another insert set where the whole thing refracts, and this particular one is Jesus Sanchez for the Rays, and those are simply our top, our top 100 players. So it is possible to pull those in color parallels or with autographs, but if they are not one of those two things, they will not be numbered. So that kind of gives you an idea of how that's going to work. Now, we've got some paper that's numbered. It is to 499, Dustin May and the Dodgers. So, oh, Russ said he got skunked on Flawless too. Oh, Russ, I'm sorry. I know some of those boxes, you know, they're tough. They don't have a lot of cards in them, and it's easy to end up getting skunked in them. But I always hate when that happens. There is Alex Reyes for the Cardinals, another top 100 insert set. And who else? DOC Breaks is here looking for some Orioles and White Sox. This is a new insert for this year, ready for the show, like our other top 100 and our 30th anniversary. The entire series will refract for it as well. And I'm sure somebody's probably going to ask me this before we get out of here. Yes, all the cards will ship out of this. Talent Pipeline, those are always going to be for the same team. And it's your hot up-and-coming prospects, whatever you want to call them. That's where you find them on one card together, looking all handsome for any given team. Jordan, you said, oh, it's actually, oh, well, you know, I did that to you before, too, didn't I, Jordan? I always read the name that's on the screen, and he's like, it's Nick. I know, but I forget, and I just, out of habit, I read the name that's on the screen. You know, old brains, it takes them a while, right? I just idle. I'm like in neutral. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to try to remember that, Nick. I'm going to try to remember that. This is Cabrera with an atomic refractor for the Marlins, Miami Marlins. We should find one atomic refractor per box in general. Oh, Bowman Sterling. We'll find those two inserts. We haven't seen one yet, but we will. They will turn up along the way somewhere. Rookie of the Year favorites, just simply another chrome insert. Again, all refract, but unless they have some color to them, they will not be numbered. All right, so that kind of is a general overview of what you can expect to find, other than we haven't yet seen our Bowman Sterling continuity hit, but we'll see it shortly, I'm sure. Oh, Alan J., you're laughing at me because I said the borders for tops. Well, you know, those 35th anniversary, because they are a throwback design, they do actually have borders. Haha, yeah. I mean, like official ones and everything. And so if we find one of those parallel, it would, of course, have a different color. So we'd be able to recognize it. And then thinking about Bowman Sterling, many of you are probably familiar with that product. And for the last few years, it has been a retail product. They haven't had it in hobby. And they're bringing it back this year. So we're going to have hobby Bowman Sterling in a few months. I'm pretty excited about that. It's always such a nice set. Rookie of the Year. Some chrome. There's Fernando in the chrome. We'd like to see that Fernando in the chrome with some ink on it. Hey, we have an atomic Bowman Sterling. Ah, I like it. And that also means it's numbered. It is to 150. It's for the St. Louis Cardinals, and is for the Chicago Cubs is Aramis Ademan. Why in the world I said St. Louis Cardinals, I could not begin to tell you. That is the Chicago Cubs. And yeah, I don't know why I said Cardinals. But I did. Here's our Bowman Sterling. We get a second one in this box. It does not happen to be atomic. And it's Mike Trout for the Angels. So I really didn't get a chance to watch much of anything tonight. All the games started late and the break was early, and well, other than the Diamondbacks and Cubs played early today, but everybody else played later tonight, and by then I was already working, so I haven't seen anything today. So I don't know if there's any good baseball news today. I didn't get a chance to watch any games. To 125, there's Brent Honeywell, Tampa Bay Rays. And there's another show. That one's Bo Bichette. One of many young guns that Toronto has. I think I've actually got some Bo Bichette autographs from a year or two ago, now that I think about it. Yeah, too bad I don't have a bunch of Vlad Guerreros, huh? Yeah, that would have made me happy. Had a bunch of those stashed back somewhere. I need to go through my Bowman, really. I might have some stuff that I don't even realize I have. Another one of our 30th anniversary cards. That one is Casey Mize for Detroit. Of course, that was the #1 overall draft pick a couple of years ago, or last year, year before last. I've lost track of my drafts. Last year. All right, that was box #1. #2, we won't really spend a lot of time flipping over inserts and things now that everybody's kind of got a handle on what to expect in a box and what's going to be numbered and what's not. We'll still obviously call out the numbers when things are numbered and that sort of deal. But oh, Jared, gosh, I don't even remember all of the flawless hits. Man, I do well to remember what I did 5 minutes ago. We did hit a Drew Brees for the Saints. That much I can tell you. There was a Cowboys card. The one that went to random was for the Packers. Guys, you all may have to help me out there in chat if anybody can remember the hits. We had a Vikings hit. But yeah, Jared, I don't remember all of them. These guys can probably help us out a little bit, maybe. I don't know. All right. So we have got our Bowman Sterling insert coming up pretty quickly out of here. Tampa Bay Rays. That's Ronaldo Hernandez. Genjin Ninjas, what are you asking me about there? It just says baseball auto breaks. Which did you have a question I can answer for you about that? This is Blue Shimmer Chrome for the Dodgers with Santana. And I did not read off the number. Sorry, it's to 150. You can see it up there in the upper right-hand corner. Jared, who is your team? If you tell me who your team was, I can try to think about if there was anything specific for your team that might help jog my memory. If you can tell me who you had, maybe I can't guarantee you still that I would absolutely 100% remember, but I might, I don't know. Ready for the show, Mount Castle. Oh gosh, so everybody's coming in late tonight. You're asking about the Onyx break. There was Cincinnati Reds and, oh boy, Cincinnati Reds, the Padres, and I cannot remember the third one. Guys, those of you who have been on throughout, can somebody tell me does anybody remember the third autograph team out of Onyx? It was the Reds, the Padres, and somebody. Reds, the Padres, and Somebody I had to look up. I remember that. I didn't right away know the team for the player, but I can't remember who. You had the Colts and the Raiders. Oh, Aaron said the Tim Brown. Yeah. We did have a Raiders hit. Throwback Tim Brown. So I don't think there was anything for your Colts, though. Not that I remember. So, hey, at least you didn't walk away empty-handed, Jared. How about that? For the Orioles, there's Diaz. It is numbered to 150 paper. And, ooh, we have a very flashy autograph coming out. Now I can say St. Louis Cardinals and be correct. And it is for Gill, and it is numbered to 299. Mateo Gill, St. Louis Cardinals. Well, that didn't do me much good, did it? Like 4 cards left there out of what was open. Oh, yeah, you're right, Aaron. He would have, the Raiders were involved in that multi-team card, too. But it went, of course, by random to the Packers using random.org. But, yeah, you're right. That was certainly in there. There's an Aaron Judge 30th anniversary. I didn't point this out before, but you guys probably all already know this. Those are facsimile signatures. They're printed on there. They're not actual hard-signed autographs. I probably should have pointed that out on one of the earlier ones. Probably each of you know that already, but sometimes somebody that might be new might not realize how that works and be thinking, why isn't she calling out those autographs? Detroit Tigers, Bo Burrows, Atomic Refractor. And of course the Atomics are not numbered, but as you can see, they fall, generally speaking, about 1 a box in here. And of course, we'll be breaking Bowman again next week, and actually probably for the next 3 or 4 weeks, because I have quite a bit of it. And we've got to still work in Gypsy Queen, and we still got Diamond Kings. We've got all kinds of stuff yet to do, so Bowman will be mixed in amongst all that other as well. Chris Bryant 30th anniversary Cubbies. Panini announced a new baseball product, and it is called Leather and Lace. Panini's Leather and Lace. And it looks like it's going to have like pieces of an actual baseball signed and maybe chunks of lumber from a bat signed, etc. But it's really pricey. I mean, it's kind of high end, you know. I think there are, I have to think about this. If there are 10 or 12 boxes in the case, I cannot recall, but they're approaching, you know, it's just a little under $200 a box for that stuff, if I recall correctly. And it's not got a ton of cards in it. So it's meant to be rather high end. And boy, they certainly have it priced as such. 30th anniversary Francisco Lindor, Indians. So I'll order a little bit of it for us to check out, but I'm probably not going to order a lot because, dang, like, it's really expensive, comparatively speaking, for a new product. I mean, you don't really, it's hard to tell from the sell sheet if it's going to be awesome or just really good or average. I mean, you can't tell a lot of times from the marketing. Yeah, Aaron, I agree. Aaron says a lot of the Panini stuff is really nice, but he just wishes that they had the MLB license. Well, I agree that I wish that they had the license if it means that they could share it like they used to, like when it used to be that more than one company could be licensed. But I would hate for it not to be with Topps, because I mean there's so many Topps products that I just absolutely adore that I would not want to lose in any way. So I do wish that they would go back to licensing to multiple companies, because I miss Topps in football too. So, you know, there's a lot of benefit to having multiple companies, but obviously the leagues decided they could get more money and have more control if it went to just one company. So that's what happened. It's actually Upper Deck you can blame for it, at least so I have been told, and the way I sort of remember some of this. But Upper Deck was the one who originally pushed for exclusive, but of course they thought they would get it. And they didn't, but they did create the whole dilemma where now it all goes just to one place. Because I'll tell you who else has really nice cards that I love is Leaf, you know? And Leaf stuff is fantastic. But if they were licensed, their stuff would have probably hold a higher value than what it does currently, but it's really nice stuff too. The Tampa Bay Rays. You have a purple first Bowman to 250, a signature for Ronaldo Hernandez in Tampa Bay. But yeah, so I wish that we could have them from everybody. Although, my goodness, it's hard enough to keep up with all the releases now. If they were coming from every company, what would we do? We'd have to break and sort 24 hours a day. To 125, that is Brent Honeywell with a shimmer. Had another numbered Brent Honeywell earlier, best I recall. So, I don't know. Good and bad things to everything, I suppose, but Panini does appear to be expanding their baseball line, because they are, you know, traditionally they've only had, what, maybe handful, 4, 5, 6 baseball products in total. Like, they really haven't pushed it a lot. So this year, of course, they're adding the leather and lace that we were just talking about, but they're also bringing back Prism baseball. And we haven't had Prism baseball in several years. So they really seem to be starting to kind of make a push to get back into a higher number of baseball releases anyway. Mitch Keller for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You said you think Topps looks like they're getting lazy on some of their products. Really? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there's only so much you can do with, say, Series 1, Series 2 update and that kind of thing. And you know, even Bowman, I would not be thrilled if they went to some really crazy departure from what they do, because, I mean, Bowman's kind of like iconic. I don't want it to change a whole lot. So, I don't know. A lot of their products, I don't think they're totally lazy with them, but some of the designs are not my favorite. I will grant you that. Dustin May to $2.99 for the Dodgers. Yeah, Echo, I agree with you. I think Leaf does have some really tremendous cards, and their stuff is almost always, well, the majority of it is live in the product, and it's on card. Everything's always in nice condition, low numbered, parallels a lot. I just like their products. You like Leaf Q in particular? Yeah, that's of course, Leaf Q, Leaf Pearl. Some of those are the some of the higher end ones. Of course, all the buyback products with Leaf are fantastic, and those are licensed because they're buyback cards, so they're buying Topps and Panini and, you know, the major licensed brands for things. But the stuff that Topps produces, or that Leaf produces itself, are really well done. And some of their cards, I mean, it's not like they don't have any value. They definitely still sell well, and some of them have quite nice value. But they just don't reach the same level of value that Topps does. And ditto with Panini. You know, Panini's cards, for the most part, in baseball, are not going to reach the same resale level that Topps does. So I kind of wish Topps would do some unlicensed football, to tell you the truth. They won't, but I kind of wish they would. I miss a lot of the Topps football products. Alec, Phillies, Bowman Sterling insert. And Leaf has a new memorabilia product coming too. Their memorabilia I also happen to like. You all, most of you know that, at least those of you who break with me often. You know, I always enjoy their memorabilia. They have really high quality signers typically, and you don't get a lot of what I would call filler signatures in their stuff. And they've decided to come out with a line of autographed baseball bats. Oh, how about that? Which will be hitting the market here in a couple of months. Nick Senzel for my Cincinnati Reds, 30th anniversary. That is numbered to $4.99 for the Pirates with Mitch Keller. Oh, Aaron, you're saying that it's the card design that you thought they were kind of lazy on, like you're talking about, like on the Series 1, Series 2 update kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, some are better than others, but I really disliked last year's design more or less. I didn't really love Series 1, Series 2 design last year. I think this year's is a little better. It's a little flashier, maybe. I don't know. But it's also kind of odd the way that they have the names done. That kind of bugs me a little. To 250 purple paper, Tampa Bay Rays, Willie Adames. But nonetheless, as a whole, I do really like Topps. I wonder how they decide on a design. I wonder if it's like by committee or if it's just like some kid right out of college on a computer going, this looks cool. Probably both. Probably some of both. That'd be my guess anyway. And our atomic refractor looks like it's going to be heading to the Cubbies. Let's see who's on this card. Nico is on this one. So the Cubbies with an atomic refractor for Nico. Yeah, I still sort out the chrome and the paper. I know you're like, why are you putting them in two different stacks? Out of habit, I separate the chrome from the paper because at some point along the way, we'll probably switch to full case breaks. And when we do that, the paper base won't ship to the teams. It would be its own bidding category. So just out of habit, I separate them as I go. That is Joe Adele, 30th anniversary. Not that you were even wondering that. Somebody might have been, somebody might not have been, but hey, now you know. Some information that you will never need to know, but yet you do. Story of my life. All right, let's go ahead now that we're down here towards the bottom and get these ready to go. We are 3 boxes left, 3 boxes completed, so we are exactly at our halfway point right now. The one thing I do wish they would do, you know how a few years ago they took, I don't know, what was it, 3 years ago or so? 3, 4. They took Bowman Chrome, the jumbo version of it, and stripped out all the base cards and made it just autograph cards. And I love that concept for the jumbo and Bowman. I think it's an awesome way to do it because it then gives you the option to set build through the regular Bowman or regular Bowman Chrome, and then you just go for the heart of the matter with the jumbos. I wish they would do that with this Bowman, baseline Bowman, the way they did with Chrome. I wish the jumbo was just like all hits, but they don't. Because you really start getting into a lot of cards when you get into the jumbo. I feel like somebody was sticking to the back of Juan Soto, but I guess it wasn't, but I don't know. Felt like it was. So I just decided to check so we could be better safe than sorry, so to speak. For the Angels, and here comes our hit. It's a Mariner. And I do believe that that is Julio Rodriguez. First Bowman Mariners autograph. So I guess everybody's probably figured out by now that apparently Kalinick is in here as his autograph is a Met, and the rest of his cards are in here as Mariners. So one of those weird split situations. The Yankees and Gleyber Torres 30th anniversary. Rookie of the Year. Alrighty, we are chugging right along here. And bear with me 1 second. I need to restack a few things over here on the sorting mat. A couple of my stacks are getting taller than I would prefer. I like to keep them fairly short over there. Make sure that everybody stays in line. So I think somebody said in chat earlier, although they're not maybe still in chat since it was in Flawless, but I think I saw somebody type in there that that there was a Tom Brady 1/1 that already came out today or something like that. Is that right? Did anybody see that or catch the details on that? Tampa Bay Rays 30th anniversary, Blake Snell. I'm always amazed at how that works. There's some products you can hit the big hit like right away on day one. There's other products that takes forever before you see it come out. I mean, like, how long did it take to find the superfractor of Ohtani in Bowman Chrome? It was way after the release. Which in my case, it kind of worked in the favor of my buyer because we pulled the Ohtani that was signed in Japanese. The blue parallel that was on the marketing material. So it was numbered to 150 because it was the blue parallel, but to the best of anyone's knowledge, it was the only one that he signed in Japanese. So we pulled that before the superfractor came out of that product. So my customer who got that was able to turn that into a really good offer, because that was the card to have next to the superfractor, which came out so late out of the product. But then you have other times where some of the big hits come out, you know, day one, hour one. So you kind of never know how it's going to roll. No, I did not see that somebody just now pulled the gold 1-of-1 trout from 2011 update. Wow. I did not see that. Did that just happen today? When did that happen? Oh, man, that is some money right there. Oh, I'd be even afraid to guess how much that card is. Depending on how that grades, I mean, you're going to get over 100K for that card. Depending on how it grades, maybe substantially more than 100K for that card. And there's one particular guy who has been buying up all of the Mike Trout stuff that is like numbered to 5 or less, and you know he's going to be all over that, and he's got a ton of money. I forget what the guy's name is, but anyway, he'll be all over that, but I cannot believe that. So the 1-of-1 superfractor from 2011 for Mike Trout finally shows up. Wow. I mean, that's, you said people are speculating 200 to 400,000. Yeah, depending on how it grades. I mean, that is like the card. Oh my gosh. Was it pulled in a break? Do you know? Or was it somebody just opening a box of cards on their own and they're like, woohoo? I mean, I just can't even imagine. I mean, that buys you a new house, for heaven's sakes. A new house. Mateus for the Kansas City Royals on the Bowman Sterling insert. Vegas Dave. Yeah, there you go, Aaron. Thank you. Vegas Dave. All I could think was it's Vegas, but I couldn't think of any of the rest of it that went with it. Oh, man. I could not even imagine what that would be like. They pulled it at a shop somewhere in the Midwest. Wow. Wow. So somebody probably just bought, oh my God, if somebody just bought a pack, like they didn't even buy the box, what if somebody just walked in to some local card shop and bought a pack of cards and got a $400,000 Mike Trout out of it? That is an atomic refractor for the Rockies, Brendan Rodgers. Well, it might not be 400,000, but I think provided it grades well, it's definitely going to be over 100,000. Even if it doesn't grade well, it'll be over 100,000. For the Nationals, Carter Keyboom, 30th anniversary. Wow, I'll definitely have to look up the deets on that later. Aaron, thank you. That's a good scoop. I'm glad to know that. Oh, man, can you imagine? And what if it was like a little kid who just didn't even know what he had or something? And the guy at the shop's telling, trying to, you could just imagine, trying to get his parents' attention. No. Immediately put it in a one-touch instantly. Take out an insurance policy on it. Guard it with your life. Echo, you have a question about grading cards. How much does it cost to grade a card, ballpark figure, and which company? Well, that's easier said than done. A basic card that doesn't have a high value, you can get it graded for 20-something bucks, you know, 20, 25 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood. but they will also tag you for the cost of return shipping. So in truth, you'd have a little bit higher amount than that in it. Or you could join the collectors club where they let you do X number of cards included in the price and get your average down a little bit, but you have to wait a lot longer. So there's a lot of factors. There's speed of service. There's the value of the card. Like if you were trying to get that Mike Trout card graded, they would make you do it as an express, like 1-day grading, because they don't want it hanging out in their facility, and they charge you out the yang for that. You'd pay several $100s for that, maybe even more than several $100s for that. And as to the company, most people would use Beckett. It's a Brendan Rodgers 30th anniversary. Would use Beckett for modern cards. If you have vintage cards, most people would probably go with PSA DNA. And the reason that a lot of people use Beckett for the modern cards is because they give the subgrades. So they don't just give you a card grade and that's it. They'll give you the card grade and then kind of, it's basically like a little roadmap that tells you how it got there. So it would give you a grade for surface, a grade for centering, so on and so forth, and then they would all average together to give you your total quote-unquote card grade. That is numbered to 25. It's Dakota Hudson for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's paper. So personally, I mean, PSA, I'm fine with even PSA for modern cards, but a lot of times in this day and age, people have become very accustomed to seeing those subgrades on there, so it's harder really probably to get as much value out of PSA on a modern card because they don't include the subgrades. The Cubbies, numbered to 499. You have a first Bowman autograph refractor for Miguel Amaya. But give me an idea, Echo, of like what you're talking about having graded. And if it's just kind of, you know, basic stuff, not over a certain value, and modern cards and all that, and you're not in a hurry, you might be better off joining like one of the Beckett. They have the little clubs, and with the joining, you get a certain number of cards graded, certificates to get them graded within that fee. That is a Nolan Gorman 30th anniversary parallel for the Cardinals. DOC breaks, you said is there a reason to grade a 1 of 1? Well, I didn't see that until just now. I'm sorry, I lost that in the thread over there. I didn't mean to like leave you hanging. It depends. Are you saying a 1 of 1 of something that is already, like it's encased? In other words, it's come from the card company in a one-touch magnetic case, and it, you know, they seal them like we had with Flawless, like, you know, so like how they have the little panini sticker there on the end. Those kind you wouldn't want to get graded because people want them to stay sealed with that little company seal on them. But if it were not encased in that manner, you're always, pretty much always, going to enhance the value of a card by getting it graded, in my opinion. Unless it's going to grade poorly. I should rephrase that. Julio Pablo Martinez, Texas Rangers, Bowman Sterling. Now, if you think it's going to grade lower than a 9, then no, don't grade it. But if you think it's going to grade 9, at least 9 or 9.5, or even a slim possibility of a 10, then I would get it graded because it will enhance the value. So that's my 2 cents on it. Aaron says, though, he doesn't think that he says it's 50-50 on grading a 1 of 1, that the grade shouldn't matter much if it's a 1 of 1. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true to an extent if it's the only one. But even so, I think graded versus ungraded brings you more money. It costs you more money because you have to pay to get it graded, but I think it also brings you more money. And it also brings, here's another aspect to consider. If you're selling it on something like eBay, part of the reason that it brings more money is because it's no longer subjective. It's not you taking a picture of it or scanning it and saying, I think it's in this condition, and then somebody else getting it and putting it under 5,000 times magnification and trying to tell you it has a flaw that, a microscopic flaw that you didn't see and they want their money back, that sort of thing. So once you get it graded, all of that is avoided, obviously. Because it is no longer just like, oh, it's your opinion. Nope, it's been graded and slabbed and, done. Oh, so you said the Trout card? Oh, I would, oh my Lord, yes, I'd grade that Mike Trout card. If, again, assuming it's going to hit at least 9, for that one, I would probably want it to hit a 9.5. But if it's going to hit at least 9.5 in grading, oh, I would absolutely grade it. I might even grade it at 9. Mariners to 250. That is purple paper. Clinic. But, you just got to think about all sides of the coin. So if you're the person buying that card and you're about to, potentially drop a couple $100,000, you're probably going to expect it to be graded, right? I mean, and if it's not, you're probably going to buy it at a discount because it's not. And then you would go get it graded after you bought it, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like a certified used car. Do you know what I mean? Like you can have 2 used cars sitting side by side and they can have the same mileage and they can be in the same condition, same color, everything identical, except one of them has been certified by the dealer and the other one doesn't say it's certified, even though it's the same and the condition and the mileage and everything. I guarantee you the one that has been certified not only will sell faster, would also sell for more. It's just human nature. That's to 125. It's Brewer Hicklin for the Kansas City Royals. Because it's kind of like, it's almost like a guarantee of sorts, the grading of a card. It's a guarantee of condition. It's a guarantee of, some people might consider it to be a guarantee of future value. That's a little dicey when you get into that argument, but nonetheless, it does have some value. For the Yankees, we have a little Albert Abreu parallel. So, Echo, you have 5 cards that you would grade ranging in the $100 to $500 value. If you're not in a hurry to get them back, then I would figure you could probably, because they do have different grades of service at Beckett too. Be aware of that. Some of them cost less money than others, but the ones that cost less money, you will wait for. At one time last year, Beckett's wait for the slow service was approaching a year. I mean, it was insane. I think it has improved since then, but you still could be easily waiting 3, 4, 5, 6 months on some of the slower services, but comparatively speaking, you would get your price down. And I don't remember how their various collector club levels are set up in terms of how many cards they'll grade and include with that membership, but that's worth looking at. Yeah, PSA for sure will do the slow service for less than Beckett, but again, then you get into that whole subgrade issue. Ciso Sanchez, that is 30th anniversary for the Phillies. Because there's a whole group of people that will, again, they'll pay more for Beckett because they like seeing those subgrades, which to me, if a card's graded a 9, it's graded a 9, no matter how it got there. But Beckett has done a really, really good job of creating a market for the subgrade. And so now that's what people with modern cards, that's what everybody's looking for. Vintage, I would not, vintage PSA is preferred, but for modern. Jonathan India for my Cincinnati Reds. Atomic Refractor with a paper. Jonathan India was stuck to the back of it. Just for posterity. We stuck one to the back. All right, kids. We are last box mojo time. I'm going to try to find the big fiery heat out of here for somebody. I know we still have a request for some Braves mojo, too. We haven't done a very good job ringing that bell either, have we? Among a few others, we had several mojo requests tonight that have not yet been hit. So maybe we can hit some numbered parallels and things for some of that out of here. We're going to try anyway. Kirk, have you ever compared your selling prices for modern cards for PSA graded versus Beckett graded? I'm just curious as to what the percentage of difference is. Nick says, where are the Mets? Where are his Mets? I'm going to try, man. I'm trying to find the Mets. Along with the Braves and the Sox and quite a few that we've got some mojo requests for that we haven't quite hit yet. There's the 30th anniversary for Forrest Whitley and the Houston Astros. Kirk, you think you get more for PSA? Really? I think you are the first person that's ever told me that you feel like you get more for PSA. I mean, I've always I prefer PSA definitely for vintage cards. And I don't mind them at all for modern cards. But I do find that in general, people seem to be looking for those subgrades. So maybe that's, I think you are the first person to tell me that, though, but I'm sure you're not the only one that has the same kind of selling pattern, so there's got to be a lot of people that don't mind PSA, along with not just us. To 150, Ruiz, Dodgers, blue chrome parallel. All right, well, Aaron and DOC Breaks, you guys are also seeing an uptick in your prices with PSA. Fantastic. I prefer PSA. They're faster, and they charge less in general, and mainly I like them because they're faster. And that's not kind of the reports I had been getting from people, so interesting. Maybe the worm has turned, so to speak. Anthony Rizzo, 30th anniversary Cubbies. Well, Black Label, of course. I mean, Black Label's gonna outperform anything because that's, again, a genius piece of marketing, but it's basically a perfect card. And since it is very well marketed and we're all conditioned to know that a Black Label 10 is the best you can get, then for sure you're gonna have a hard time topping a Black Label 10 from Beckett. Really, I think Beckett has just generally done a better job marketing their services than PSA. And so they've gotten the lion's share of it, and that's kind of what has in turn conditioned a lot of buyers that that's what they're looking for. And then you got the fact of all those guys who do Magic the Gathering and all those like card games. Those guys are in love with subgrades. So that's another little factor of that. Yeah, DOC, Beckett's turnaround's horrible. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. At one point last year, they were approaching a year to get stuff back to people. I mean, I'm talking the slow grade stuff, but even what should have been like a 30-day grade was at 5 and 6 months. I have no idea where it sits now. I know it's better, but I don't know the specifics of exactly where it sits. To $4.99, that's Ryan Helsley. It is paper for the St. Louis Cardinals. Because, you know, I mean, PSA, if they're getting a lot of business, they'll just go hire some people and expand their building, which I think they did, and get it done. And Beckett seems to just, like, keep the same number of people and just say, oh, you can wait a couple of years. Just sit back and wait a year or two, get your card. Ahmed Rosario, number 2, $499, paper, but a parallel for the Mets. The Mets. At least the mojo gave you something, right? And maybe it's going to give you something else. We're not done yet, but at least we know it's listening for you. Kirk, you said PSA and Beckett are the only ones you'll purchase. Well, I agree. I mean, there are some other, like, weirdo grading services out there that I mean, basically if somebody's sitting in their grandmother's basement slabbing it and just slapping any old number they want on there. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. Justice Sheffield, still a Yankee here on this card. He is numbered to $499. You've got a little ink, you've got a refractor, and a nice rookie hit for the Yankees. So Last Box Mojo did deliver us a very handsome Justice Sheffield card. I like it when Last Box Mojo brings us a good hit. An atomic refractor for the D-backs. Duplantier. And we still got a little set of packs back there to look at, so we're not quite out of here yet. Yeah, Aaron, you know, you have a good point. If PSA would start adding subgrades and kind of eliminate that point of difference between them and Beckett, I think it would probably be a little more competitive. A turnaround time killed you on Ohtani. You sent in a card that was selling for $5.50 raw when you sent it, and by the time you got it back, you couldn't even sell it graded for that. Oh, man. Yeah, see, those are the kind of things you just... they've got to do something, and I think they have. I mean, by all reports, I haven't sent anything in a long time, but by all reports, Beckett is... certainly not super speedy these days, but they're also not 6-9 months a year behind either. That's the Cubs, Sterling, Ademan. So I think they have caught up a little, but they're just never going to be as fast as PSA because PSA is doing comparatively less grading, I think. Although their numbers did tick up quite a bit, picking up the slack for Beckett. In fact, even they were a little bit behind at one point last year, but they were maybe 2-3 weeks off their mark, not 2, 3, 4, 5 months. You know, live with 2 or 3 weeks if you have to. Aaron, I do think your Ohtani, though, will rebound. I mean, obviously the guy's Tommy John, you know, sidelined, no pitching this year, but he's going to be back as a DH, I would think, probably June, July-ish, somewhere in there, if everything continues to go well. And I mean, the guy rakes, so as soon as he starts bombing away, you'll see some of your values go back up, I think. To 150 Madrigal, that's an atomic refractor for the White Sox on a top 100 insert. out of curiosity, how long did it take them before they got the Ohtani turned around and back to you? I'm kind of afraid to ask, but for the Yankees, there's Abreu, and it is a nice little shimmer, and it is a chrome shimmer, and numbered to 125. 30th anniversary for the Phillies with a little Aaron Nola. And that is our half case. We have a little recapping that we're going to do here in a moment, though. So let's get some of that lined up, and we'll take a look at a few things that might interest somebody who jumped in late, or maybe you just want a second look at some of your cards or something like that. Oh, Russ says he thinks Ohtani's going to be a bust. Yeah, I don't know about that, Russ, but time will tell, I guess. It graded 9 with a 10 autograph, and it took 4 months. Well, honestly, 4 months is faster than it was at one point last year. So, to 150, the White Sox. This is, of course, an unnumbered Bowman Sterling, but because those only fall typically about one a box, I still recap them. Of course, our atomic refractors are not numbered. That is not called shimmer. I forget what that's called. It's not sparkle either. I don't think. I can't think what it's called. Sterling, atomic, sterling, sterling, atomic, sterling, atomic, sterling, a sterling and atomic combo, numbered to 150 for the Cubbies with Ademan, and then a Sterling Cabrera for the Marlins. So those are parallels that stand out a little bit that aren't numbered. To 125, Abreu for the Yankees with the shimmer. Some Med Rosario, that's paper to 499 for the Mets. This is paper to 499 for the Cardinals with Halsey. A blue chrome to 150, Ruiz and the Dodgers. This is to 125 with an aqua for, I call it aqua anyway, for the Royals. Paper purple to 250, Jared Kelenic and the Mariners. To 25, we have a little paper orange for the Cardinals with Hudson. Paper purple 250, Willy Adames and the Rays. Paper to 499 for the Pirates. There are the Dodgers again with May. Here come the Rays again with shimmer to 125 for Honeywell. There's a blue shimmer to 150, Santana and the Dodgers. Blue paper to 150 for the Orioles with Diaz. There are the Rays to 125, a Honeywell without the shimmer, and a paper Dodgers May to 499. So those are our numbered cards that do not have an autograph attached to them. Then, Justice Sheffield, Yankees, nice little rookie refractor, numbered to 499. The Cubbies hit with Amaya, first Bowman, also a refractor to 499. The Mariners have Rodriguez. The Rays, a purple first Bowman to 250 with Ronaldo Hernandez. The St. Louis Cardinals, Mateo Gil. And first out tonight was the Giants, a refractor to 499 for Logan Webb. So that is it for me tonight, kids. I will put up our spreadsheet information here one more time for anybody who might have missed it earlier. We'll take a look at what's breaking in the days ahead, as well as our anticipated shipping dates for what we just broke. So tomorrow night, of course, is an off night, but I will be back at it on Sunday night, Easter Sunday, and we'll start at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. We'll open a 15-box case of Leaf Metal Draft along with a 5-box half case of Gypsy Queen Baseball, the start of a new case on Gypsy Queen. Monday night, also 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, we'll open the back half of the Flawless Football case that we started tonight and a 12-box case of Diamond Kings Baseball. Tuesday, we'll have Flawless on tap again and another half case of Bowman Baseball, which will be the start of a new case. On Wednesday, we'll start at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. It's a new release day. We're going to see some 2019 football cranking out, and it is going to be Contenders Draft Picks. We'll break a full case of that, and we'll break our 16th and final case of 3-box inner case of our Onyx Preferred Players Autograph Baseballs. So that's what our break schedule looks like for the upcoming 5 days. Once again, shipping information. So if you were in one of the free shipping breaks tonight, that's Flawless and the Onyx Autograph Baseballs. They will be on the way to you no later than Friday the 26th, a week from today. Free stuff is always projected out approximately a week after the break. Most of the time it ships faster. Often it ships a lot faster. Just means no later than that. Paid shipping break tonight, Bowman that we just finished up. Guessing that's going to be on the way to you Tuesday. Now, as always, if I can get it out faster than that, I will certainly have it heading your way sooner. And if my week turns into a train wreck, it could always go a day later, but I'm expecting it to be approximately Tuesday. Consolation cards. Everybody hit cards in Bowman. Everybody pulled cards, and we'll get a package. No worries there. And Onyx and Flawless, if your team did not hit and you didn't get anything at all, not a base card, not a baseball, not one single thing, then you are entitled to a consolation card. It can be from any year and any series, and I keep track of it for a rolling 90-day period. Because those are free shipping breaks, I would typically just hang on to your consolation card until the next time you have another package shipping. Then I would gather them all up and send them out at once. If, however, you got skunked in one of those breaks and you don't want to wait and you want your consolation card sent to you right away, the only thing you have to do is send me a message on eBay, let me know that, and I will happily get you squared away, okay? Oh, man, Russ, we didn't find you any Lions, you said, in Flawless, and we didn't hit you. Well, we hit some Phillies, obviously, in here, but we didn't hit you any Philly autographs or any super hot parallels. I'm sorry, Russ, that blows. Maybe we're going to have to conjure up some better mojo for you, right? We're going to have to conjure up some better mojo. You said you didn't hit any Flawless. So Flawless football, right? But you're saying, wait a minute, what are you asking me about Onyx and Flawless? So if you were in Onyx and Flawless, those were both free shipping breaks, right? So on the free shipping breaks, I traditionally would not send out the consolation card because they're free shipping breaks. What I would do instead is just keep track of it. And then the next time you have a package shipping, which I keep track of those no-hit things for a rolling 90-day period. So at any point in the next 3 months where you did hit something and you had a package shipping, I would be able to look back and say, oh, hey, Russ didn't hit any Lions here and he didn't hit any Phillies there, and I would be able to then just go get those consolation cards and I would add them into whatever package was shipping. So my point was, if you don't want to wait for that and you just want your Lions base card and your Phillies base card to be sent to you like immediately as your consolation cards, I will happily do that. They would just, they would go in just a plain white envelope kind of scenario in that instance. But I think that was what you were asking me. But if you were asking something different, Russ, just type in and let me know, and I'll give it another pass and see if I can do a better job answering it. And DOC Breaks, thank you too, man. I appreciate you being here. As always, I appreciate everyone being here and spending part of your Friday evening with me. And I hope everyone has a very nice Easter weekend. Remember, I am off tomorrow night, no breaks tomorrow night. But we will be back at it on Easter Sunday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. All right, everybody, we'll catch you the next time. Bye now.